please. All right, turn to your left. Yes, left. That's your left. That was my left. This is your left. Should be some shoulders in front of you. Grab the shoulders.
Right.
Give them a gentle squeeze and massage. Yeah. Keep breathing. Yes. All right. And now raise your arms up. Rotate around 180 degrees. There's another pair of shoulders. Oh my God. Give them a squeeze. Oh yeah. There we go. All right. Shake out all your arms and legs, and you can sit down again. Now we're awake. That's your cup of coffee substitute for the morning. So we're going to be looking at business fog and how to get clarity in your business. So, and we'll look at some ways you can clear that. So I'll explain what I mean, what business fog is in a moment. I have written some books on business and intuition, and I host a podcast on it. And I've been an entrepreneur for 29 years now. So, woohoo! Yay! So, what is fog? It's lack of clarity in some area of your business. Maybe you don't know what you're supposed to do next, or you don't know where to market or how to niche down your business. And it's not that you don't know how to do something. Usually the how is pretty easy, right? You can ask other people, well, how did you do it? Or you can read a book on it. But for some reason, when you think about that part of your business, you get unclear about what to do next or what is most important to do in your business. Because there's so many things you could do. Or another way this shows up is maybe you create struggle in your business and you make it a lot harder than other people do. So that's what I'm talking about here. You don't have it easy. So some other examples, maybe you're not clear what business model to pick. There's so many different options you can have. Or what person should you hire in your business next? Or suppose you put a job ad out. Now you've got hundreds of applicants. Which one do you pick? Do you spend days and days trying to pick the perfect one, or do you have an easy way to get to the right candidate? Or perhaps you do stuff and make decisions, but then you spend a lot of time worrying about, did I make the right decision? Perhaps that's where this shows up for you. So, we've only got a few minutes in this talk, and the key thing I want you to get is that many people have this, and I'll ask who has these kind of things in their business in a moment. And it's caused by old beliefs, and this is something you can clear. So if you've even had this for years or decades, it's something you can get rid of. If you have difficulty in your marketing, that's like always foggy, or your bookkeeping, or your sales, or the operations side, or hiring, or legal side, whatever that is in your business, it's something you can change. And what we have here is you've got lack of clarity, you have anxiety over it, maybe some doubt thrown in, you worry a lot, and that leads to over-planning and procrastination. And then the result is you don't feel good about yourself, and you don't achieve as much as you're capable of achieving, and you're stressed out, and you have less money, less joy, and possibly your health suffers as well. I interviewed someone in the DC who, just going to flip forward. I interviewed someone in the DC about this, and this is what she told me, it was costing her, that she had this lack of clarity in part of her business. It was costing her a bunch of sales, because she didn't take the right actions to get the sales. She was feeling like she wasn't as good as she could be in making a life-changing thing for the planet. She was wasting a lot of time spinning wheels, making decisions, or procrastinating. And she was energy drained, and she had poor health and was depressed. So it's a lot of issues here. So who here has, go back. Who here has ever had this in any area of your business? Okay, look around and see how many hands are raised here, guys. Most people have had this. It's very, very common. So you're not alone. If you're working in your home office or in a coffee shop and you're like, oh, why is this so hard? Maybe other entrepreneurs are having the same kind of issues. Maybe in a different area. Maybe for for you, marketing's really straightforward and easy, but when it comes to hiring, that's hard, or vice versa. And what is that? We looked at sample costs. So let's just hear from people here. What is this costing you where you have fog in your business? Yes?
Months of working on the wrong thing for a kickoff.
Oh,
so months of it, just in the end I just realised I'd just been working on the wrong thing for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't clear, the fog was just everywhere. You know?
Yeah. Excellent. And anyone else?
Health.
Cost health. And can you share, are you okay sharing specifically what the cost was?
Yeah, stress can affect your body.
Yeah. Yeah. And someone else at the back?
I'll take that a bit further. Like for me, it's about 6 months ago, I was overworking myself and ended up getting shingles.
Shingles. That sounds really painful. Yeah. You end up with spots and neuralgia and yeah. Wow. So yeah, could be costing you lost time, lost energy, health. Maybe just find your business as a drag. You know, I've got to do that thing again, or you don't do it, but that's a drag. And then, you know, maybe decisions are taking a lot longer than they need to. And if you have staff in your business, maybe that because of this fog you have, maybe now they're like, well, the leader doesn't know what we're doing, you know, and that kind of like, which way should we go? They don't know what to do. And maybe for you, it means that you don't delegate in that area of your business. Maybe you do everything yourself or think you should do it yourself, and then you stress out even more. So it's a very serious issue I don't think we talk about a lot. So we're going to do some fog clearing. Yay! And we need some fog clearing volunteers. Ooh, got one there. Now, young man, what's your name?
Chris.
Hello, Chris. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
So here are some tools. Any of these intuitively you are drawn to. We've got connecting to the light using what would it take? Youngest age pattern recycler, percentage cleared and what would it take? Spiritual advisory board, clearing your ancestor lines, cord cutting, or asking your future self.
So you're asking me which one?
Which one are you drawn to? I mean, we can look at all of these. I just thought we'd shake it up a bit.
This sounds interesting.
Youngest age pattern recycler. Okay. Ooh. This is where I should have some music playing. So we'll skip forward to that. We will come back to these. I'm going to share all the slides with everyone in the group. So, okay. So tell us the area of your business that you find the least have lack clarity, or you have some kind of fog, struggle with, procrastinate, stresses you.
I would say, I guess in the short term, finding more clients.
Finding more clients.
Yeah.
So is that marketing?
Yeah, marketing.
Marketing. Yeah. You can say the marketing word. It's
Marketing. Marketing.
All right. So what you're going to look at is how exactly you feel emotionally and in your body when you think about doing marketing. So right now, think about doing some marketing, bring in more clients in your business, Chris.
Okay.
And what do you notice in your body when you start thinking about doing more marketing?
I feel excited.
Excited?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where in your body do you feel that?
Like here.
Feel tension, tingling?
Tingling. Yes.
Tingling, okay.
Yeah.
And what else do you notice in your body? Arms, legs, head?
I kind of have a little headache today, so
A bit of a headache.
I don't know if that's marketing.
And you mentioned excited. Is there other emotions you feel?
I guess when I think of I pressure myself to hit numbers in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think that's when the fog kind of comes
So
out.
think about hitting the numbers in your marketing.
Yeah.
Now what do you notice in your
A
body?
bit of tension.
Tension where?
Kind of all over.
All over?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what emotions?
Fear,
Fear.
comes up, or anxiety.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question in a minute, and I want you to come up with the first thing that comes to your head. What's the intuitive answer? Instead of second guessing. So what is the youngest age that you had this tension in your body, you felt some fear, combined with a little excitement? Maybe a headache.
First number that came up was 4.
4. And who was that with? Just again, what's the first person that comes to mind?
Dad.
Dad. Yeah. Okay. And you may or may not remember what that was, but let's just imagine light coming from above and below into you and to your little 4-year-old Chris. Yes, there he is. Seeing, hearing, whatever happened. Maybe he had some bad experience with his dad. So how this works is that we experience this as children, and in school and in jobs we did, and then we just keep repeating the pattern over and over until we get to clear it. You've probably seen that in relationships, right? You probably have friends in relationships and they like date Ms. Wrong or Mr. Wrong over and over, the same kind of pattern, until hopefully eventually they fix it. Well, we do the same thing in our businesses. So it's just throw more like a 4-year-old Chris. And let's visualize light in all the other ages that we've had this. You could even imagine a whole timeline from 0 to however old you are now. 23, right?
Yeah.
30 something. Yeah. 33. You can see like blips on the timeline where you kind of traumatized yourself and keep repeating this pattern.
Okay.
And you can see all being clear with light. How do you feel now when you think about
A little bit better.
So that we didn't ask you a number ahead of time. How bad was this fog when you started? Came up.
Was the fog?
Yeah. And put a number on it from 0 to 10. 6. Number what you think it is up. Could be higher, could be lower.
It's still the same, but I can see like if I was meditating, it would clear up.
So if you spend longer than we've got here to do this,
Yeah.
see how it's even clearing inside. All right. Yay. Let's give a hand for Chris. All right. Do we have another volunteer? Brave man or woman? Yes. Now, what's your name, young man? Tal. All right. So, come up.
Where do you want me?
I want you facing the audience. Okay. Yes. So, which area of your business do you have issues in? Do you struggle with? Do you have lack of clarity?
The money side.
The money side. All right. So, first let's connect to the light. Did that earlier with Chris. I think you know. Oh, let's measure how much, where you are on a scale of 0 to 10.
Like everyone.
Like, if you had no fog, you'd be a 0 in this money area. And if you had total lack of clarity and you just couldn't touch it because it stresses you out.
I would say 6.
6, okay. So, I think you connected to the light before, but just visualize going up a few thousand miles. And everyone, look, why don't we all join in on this? Just invite you to join in. Let's all close our eyes. Go up a few thousand miles. Connect to truth, light, and love that's out there. Bring it down through the top of your head, through your throat, your chest, your stomach, your abdomen, your hips, your legs, down through your feet, and go down, down, down to the center of the earth, and connect to the support and love of Mother Earth, unconditional acceptance, and bring that back up through your feet, your knees, hips, abdomen, stomach, chest, neck, head. So now you've got light coming from above and below at the same time, and expand your heart out as big as the room, as big as the building, as big as the city, as big as the country, as big as the planet, as big as the solar system, as big as the galaxy, and as big as the universe. So that's connected to the light. And then notice how you feel. You can open your eyes. And now think about dealing with money in your business and connected to the light. So what can you put a number on how you, if you had to deal with money right now?
It's a little bit better just because I'm more grounded.
Exactly.
Focusing on the right now.
Yeah, right now. So that was a 30-second thing you can do to just feel more energy. It's sort of like taking a double espresso shot without the side effects. Yeah. You're like more grounded, you've got more energy, you're more heart-centered, and like your energy is now so big, right? That this little money thing is not such a hassle.
Maybe I'll share the
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, go ahead.
I like to commit to certain projects and usually give myself a year, you know. And I committed to this project, but the project that I'm really like drawn to is really big, you know, and it's calling me, and it's almost had a little bit of fogginess in terms of dropping that business because I already kind of invested quite a lot of money in it and jump into like the new thing. So it's almost like this, you know what I mean? Like,
so when you've done a lot of money work in another business and now you want to do a new one, you find it hard to shift quickly.
yeah, just because of that commitment component, which is more of a past commitment. You know what I mean? And
So let's imagine that's a set of beliefs that you have, or a pattern around ability to shift quickly between businesses when you've made commitments. And let's see the light going into that pattern and washing it away. You can imagine it's like a waterfall of light and this pattern is just being dissolved away. And again, this is something you might meditate on later rather than standing in front of an audience.
waterfall?
Yeah, a waterfall of light. And then now think about doing what you want to do to shift into this business. How's that feel now?
I like the waterfall.
Yeah. All right, let's give the towel a hand. How are we doing on time?
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes, all right. So I'll share the slides with you. There's all kinds of other things. We've got the what would it take tool. You can ask all kinds of questions, and that opens up your intuitive mind to find solutions. It also puts consciousness on the problem. And generally, whenever you've got an issue, if instead of avoiding it, you like see it in more clarity, it helps to start dissolve it anyway. So we looked at youngest age. You can also use the what would it take if you either use percentages, say how much percent of this issue is left, and then you can ask what would it take to get to a lower percentage. If it's now at 50%, what would it take to get to 40%? You might come up with ideas, and you may have different ideas at different levels. This is an idea I got from Chris, who was a volunteer earlier. You can have a spiritual advisory board. You can think of famous people, either living, dead, or imaginary, who might be good at marketing, or good at money, or whatever your issue is. And then you can ask them, okay, what would you suggest I do? It's sort of like asking what would Jesus do, but instead you pick someone who's good in the area, because Jesus may or may not have been good at marketing. Doing quite well for the last 2,000 You might also look at, did your ancestors have this? You can ask yourself intuitively, how many ancestors did I have that had this problem? 3 of those. Because often parents pass down beliefs to their children, right? That money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work hard for your money, or that sales is sleazy and you shouldn't do it. These are all beliefs that people have. If you want to work more with family, you might cut cords you have with relatives, family members, and friends who have this belief. Because often when we want to grow, other people around us get frightened and they try and shut us down, both verbally and also energetically. Usually there's an energy connection between people. And the loving part of that's great, you want to keep that, but the fear-based part is better to cut off. So, back to takeaways. Most people have fog in some area of their business. This is something you can clear, and it's caused by your beliefs. If you can focus on that and clear those out, you can make your business run so much easier. So I wrote a couple of books that are to do with intuition and business. They detail these techniques in more depth. And I wrote a whole chapter on decision making, and there's a Dropbox link in the slides. You can get a PDF of that chapter that doesn't require an opt-in, because you're all wonderful people. I trust you to do wonderful things with that chapter. So I think we've got a couple of minutes for Q&A. Any questions? done. Yes.
Positive thinking.
Positive thinking. Yes. Good thing to have. That was a comment, I assume, rather.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I think your second to last slide involved, was it cutting cord with family?
Cutting cords,
you skipped through it a bit
I
quick.
did skip. You're going to get the slides later.
Yeah,
Well, you had
I've got a question
about
specifically
that.
about it, right? So,
Yeah.
thank you. How would I identify the pattern of fog? Is there like a question I could ask myself about my family and parents and what have you?
You could
that
ask
would help
how
me
many calls
identify?
do I have related to this issue? If
Right.
you're stuck in marketing or just, I don't know what area your fog is in. So.
Right.
But yeah, you could say, how many calls do I have related to this issue with my family? And just ask your intuition to give you a number.
Okay, and it says
And
that my family has the fog pattern as well. Is that?
They might do, or they might just have their own crap going on, but it relates to your issue somehow.
Right, okay.
I mean, I didn't get to ask Chris what happened at 4 years old, and he may or may not remember what happened with his dad at 4 years old.
Right.
Okay? Because we kind of, I'm sure it's in there somewhere, right, in his brain somewhere, but often we put fog on top of fog because it's painful to deal with.
Right.
We had some trauma and we don't want to think about it. This stuff is somewhat analogous. You've all heard of PTSD that soldiers get when they go to war? Yeah, well, we all sort of went to war when we were children, right? We had traumatic experiences and other children were mean to us, or our parents hit us, or, whatever happened. Or even just our mother said, money is the root of all evil, innocently to try and protect us, yeah?
Right.
And now we're like, I better stay away from money, it's evil.
Thank you.
So, yes. All right, I think we are complete on time. I just invite you, the reason I do this is because, I did a math degree when I was younger, and I was very rational. And then as more and more I was in business, I realized, wow, accessing my gut intuition is really important. And I just invite you to openly use your intuition in your business so that you make more money, you have more joy, you're less stressed, and also so you can share with all your staff and all your clients and all your vendors that it's okay to use our intuition openly. So they can be less stressed too, because the less stressed they are and the more joyful they are and the more profits they help you make, the more you're going to get, right? So that's the revolution I invite you to join. So you do this. All right, thank you very much.